Hi everybody, Anthony Navarro here with Colorado Shooting Sports. We're going to talk about a topic that is on everybody's mind right now. We've had terrorist attacks in France, like a lot of them. We've had a lot of this Black Lives Matter thing going on here in the U.S. We have cops getting ambushed by almost like the dozens here in the U.S. in big cities. And I think that we're literally seeing the tip of the iceberg. They are seeing that their tactic is extremely effective, and with one or two people, they can shut down a huge urban area, costing millions of dollars. If they were to get wise and do this at 15 or 20 cities, that's billions of dollars of business loss because people aren't getting to work, buying stuff, doing all the things that we do. So, unfortunately, uneducated people that are participating in these things, thinking that they're making a positive difference, they don't understand they're a tiny little pawn in a big game that's being played by both sides. Both sides are using those people to get whatever result they want to get. So unfortunately, that's the kind of the name of the game there. But I want to talk about the legal aspects of using your vehicle as a weapon if you had to do that. So, for example, there's a Colorado statute 18-1704 that states lethal force can be used if there's an imminent and unavoidable chance of death of great bodily harm to you or an innocent person. If you noticed in that statute, it didn't say what caliber gun you can use, or if it can be a gun or a knife or a rock or a stick or a car. It literally means, in my mind, that means anything, anywhere, anytime you can defend yourself if you have that imminent threat of death or great bodily harm to me or my family or my friends or heck, an innocent person that's just somebody I don't even know. So I want you guys to think about that. Yes, you can use your car as a weapon if it does get to that. So I want to point something out here with our little chart. Is we take a look here, we have a vehicle moving down the road, a bunch of protesters lined up right here. And let's say you're about 100 or 200 yards out and there's nobody in front of you. Well, guess what? We teach avoidance, deterrence, and de-escalation. It doesn't mean you need to keep going to the cliff and drive off the cliff, if to use a metaphor. But if you're like, hey, there's a bunch of dingbags over there causing problems, I probably should not go there. So imagine there's another intersection further up. I'm going to kind of give you a little arrow here. You just avoid the problem. Get out of the way of the problem. Then you don't have to run over people or do anything else. So that's an example. This is an example of an immediate threat. It's about 200 yards away. In an immediate threat situation, you cannot use lethal force. So all those people out there that are saying things like, I just run them over and do all these different things, you're just talking without knowledge and you're just talking to sound cool, and honestly, you just sound stupid. So stop doing that, because you're also part of the problem if you do that. So if it's an immediate threat, get the heck out of there. Back up or keep going forward and get out of the way. Okay? If for some reason you take a turn and oh my God, you're right there, there's no way to avoid it, and it is an imminent threat situation, then yes, you can use your car or, like I said before, anything as a weapon if it gets to that point. So again, we stress avoidance, deterrence, de-escalation. Any fight that you avoid, you win. No jail time, no getting arrested, no paying an attorney, no watching people get hurt, including yourself. So just be aware that that's what we teach. A couple of tools that I think that everybody should have in their car, and we're going to talk about some tactics as well to use them. Let's say you come up against that big group of people. So let's say in this situation, our car just goes right up here. That line is right in front of you. Heck, maybe it's even starting to become an envelopment. You start getting these people surrounding the car. That is a really bad situation. And they're going to try and not let you move forward. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But pepper spray. Roll your window down a little bit, and you're going to want to clear a path for your car. So you'd assume you get the pepper spray, stick it out there, just start blasting forward. But the most immediate issue is the one right beside the car. So if you decide to do that, stick it outside the car. You don't want to shoot it in the car because it's going to come back. Stick it outside the window, meaning I don't want you rolling your window all the way down because they can reach in there and get your steering wheel or your car keys. Stick it out a little bit, blast straight 90 degrees out the side of your car. Bam, right outside your car. And then slowly bring that sucker to the front, hose those puppies down, and then slowly keep nudging your car forward, okay? We're gonna talk more about how to use the car in a minute, but pepper spray is a great tool to have. Another thing is, you might encounter that situation at night, and this is a big deal. That is a huge weapon. You point that in somebody's face, they're gonna get that veiling glare, they're gonna try and cover their eyes, and they become less effective at harming you. So again, boom, right out the side, aim it forward, and that's gonna also be very usable as well. The last thing that we'll talk about is you're gonna wanna make sure you have a weapon in the car, preferably a gun. Handgun, all guns really do is give you choices, and they also give you the ability to project a little bit of distance. Distance equals time in a gunfight. So again, you're going to want to make sure you have that in your car. You might be stuck there for a while, so one magazine ain't going to cut it. You're going to want to have several magazines in your car, or what I do is I carry several in the car, but also an extended magazine with like 30 rounds in it, so you're not reloading so often. So something to keep in mind. Let's keep going further with this. You do not want to get out of the car. Don't let them pull you out of the car. Don't unlock your door. Don't get out to argue with people. If they're scratching the crap out of your car, stay in the car. A perfect example of that is during the Rodney King riots. Reginald Denny was a truck driver that was pulled out of his car and drilled in the side of the head with a brick. I don't want that happening to anybody. So whenever possible, please do not get out of your car. So let's talk about using the car to push through this. What we're trying to get as a goal here is to be able to move through this crowd and to keep moving. So with vehicle convoy defense, the winning an ambush in a vehicle convoy incident, the main thing is we tell people just keep moving. If you stop for any reason, I think the statistic is 90% of the time when a convoy stops and they're being ambushed, they lose, they all die. So you gotta keep moving. So let's say, for example, let's magnify the situation here. We got several people blocking you, but you notice that there's a little gap here, and let's say your car is right here. Try and find those gaps with the corner of your car, and you're not gonna wanna plow through them, because that might not be necessary. Remember, we wanna escalate force whenever possible, but you're gonna find that corner of your car, put it in that gap of people, and that's where you're going to start pushing forward with the vehicle. And as soon as you clear that, keep in mind they're going to be hitting your window and breaking stuff. Don't worry about it. Keep your focus. The focus is to leave, get out of that situation. So whenever possible, keep moving the car. Again, we have an entire class dedicated to this, how to fight in your car and how to fight egressing, meaning leaving your vehicle. It's called vehicle gunfighting. Check it out, or if you would like us to host a vehicle gunfighting class, please hit us up about that. And again, it's Colorado Shooting Sports on Facebook, coloradoshootingsports.com, or give us a call at the shop at 970-395-0664. Please share this video, educate people, and if you noticed, we were talking about managing the road protests, getting out of these problems, and not necessarily a class or a video on how to kill people or run people over. And hopefully you'll see that our core philosophy is always avoidance, deterrence, de-escalation, and if the situation calls for it, using lethal force. So again, Anthony Navarro, Colorado Shooting Sports, thank you very much.